Good evening. This is Akashvani Kohima. I'm Jonas Yanthan with Evening News. The headlines. Fourth session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly adjourned Sine. Members of Nagaland Legislative Assembly opposes Assam Healing Prevention of Evil Practices Bill 2024. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton says recruitment of constables will be carried out through open recruitment. And Nagaland Legislative Assembly to appeal Government of India to work out regulations for movement of people across borders in close consultation with people inhabiting border areas. Now the news in detail. The fourth session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly was adjourned sine die today. During the 4-day sittings, 4 bills were passed, namely the Nagaland Salaries, Allowances and Other Facilities of the Chief Minister, Speaker, Deputy Chief Minister, Ministers, Leader of Opposition, Deputy Speaker and other members of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly, and Pension for Ex-Members, 6th Amendment Bill 2024. The Nagaland Goods and Services Tax, 7th Amendment Bill 2023, Nagaland Appropriation No. 1 Bill 2024 and Nagaland Appropriation No. 2 Bill 2024. The House also adopted 4 resolutions and laid 57 annual administrative reports of various departments and 9 rules. In his concluding remarks, Speaker Sharingan Longama said this budget is one of the finest budgets presented before the August House. He said a budget is holistic, progressive, people-centric and has an element of humane approach. Longama hoped that the budget will initiate a resurgence in Nagaland. Members of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly have opposed the Assam Healing Prevention of Evil Practices Bill 2024, expressing concern that it is a threat to the secular spirit of the nation and deeply hurts the sentiments of the Christians. The issue was taken up on matters of urgent public importance under Rule 50 pertaining to the Assam Healing Prevention of Evil Practices Bill 2024 initiated by Nagaland's Deputy Chief Minister T.S. Zeliang while calling upon the government of Assam to revoke and abolish the bill. Asserting that the word secular in the preamble reinforces the idea of a secular state treating all religions equally and maintaining neutrality, he said in the case of the bill, Indian secularism has come under severe strain, and for Christians in particular, it can only be seen as a direct attack on the faith and belief system. Meanwhile, MLA Dr. Sakato Sema said labeling evangelist activities as black magic and evil practices is contaminated, and he asserted that Christians never belittle or speak ill of other religions. Advisor for CAWT and Taxes Kutecho Kamo observed that the term used in the bill as magical healing is incorrect and misleading, which is not acceptable to the Christian community. Minister for Tourism and Higher Education Dempton Imnangalong also participated in the discussion and extended support. Deputy Chief Minister and Home Minister Y Patton today said recruitment of constables will be carried out through open recruitment. Patton said this while replying to a starred question raised by MLA Kuzuluzo Nino on the last day of the 4th session of the 14th Legislative Session. The categories of post will be Constable General Duty, Constable Motor Transport and Constable Nagaland Police Telecommunication Organization. He said the total number of posts to be advertised in each of the categories is in the process of being finalized. Patton said the recruitment will be in accordance with the existing reservation policy of the state government. The Minister of Home added that the eligibility criteria will include a candidate of 18 to 35 years as one-time relaxation of age by 3 years up to 38 years as on 22nd January 2024, while educational qualification would be Class 8 passed for general category and Class 6 passed for backward tribes. In a supplementary question raised by Nino seeking clarification on recruitment to be carried out through existing reservation policy, Patton said the recruitment will take place in population-wise, keeping in view of the 37% reservation. He also said the state would be conducting the recruitment after a gap of 4 years. He said a recruitment of the constables will be conducted in every district. Advisor Katie Sukalo, while raising concern on education qualification criteria, suggested the need to enhance the qualification criteria for recruitment.
Khalua para bimari lagi jatu kini ka rukhabo paribo. Unsafe food aro pani kha para diarrhea, cholera or typhoid lagibo pare. Bachakante diarrhea bimar hua laga asol karan tu unsafe pani kha karone ase. Diarrhea tu bhal para treatment na kurile jan ke bi khatra hobo pare. Itu bimari khan para gaute essential vitamins aro minerals khan bi komti kuri de. Diarrhea ke manage kuribole tu adequate fluids aro liquids lobole bishi dorkar ase. Pani, ORS, nariyal pani, nohile bi bhat aro dal laga pani khan khabo pare. Bacha khan diarrhea hoi jaile bi ama laga dudh to khilabo lage. Borton khan safa rakhibo lage aro khalua banado safa pani cholabo lage. Itu jankari di ase Food Safety Authority Nagaland.
This news comes to you from Akashvani, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News On Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. On the last day of the fourth session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, today the members resolved to appeal the Government of India to work out regulations for movement of people across the borders in close consultation with the people inhabiting the border areas and for suitably bringing in the village council authorities concerned in the entire system of the regulation. The resolution was moved in the House by Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton, who is the Minister in charge of Home and Border Affairs, and was adopted unanimously. The resolution was adopted following the discussion on Free Movement Regime (FMR) held yesterday in the House, where the members have expressed concern on the centre's decision to suspend the FMR along the Indo-Myanmar border and also to fence the Indo-Myanmar border. The House stated that the measures of scrapping will cause immense hardship and inconvenience to the Naga people living in the Indo-Myanmar border areas. The House added that it will seriously disrupt the age-old historical, social, tribal, and economic ties of the Naga people living on both sides of the international Indo-Myanmar border. The Nagaland Legislative Assembly today unanimously adopted a resolution for regularization of employees in Group A and B and Group C and D posts appointed prior to 6th June 2016. The resolution was moved by Chief Minister Y Patton for adoption yesterday, stating that a state being a welfare state is guaranteed in the Constitution is responsible to provide basic economic security to the citizens and to protect the livelihood of the employees working in any department. Rio informed that the Cabinet, in its earlier decision in February, had resolved to adopt a resolution to regularize Group A, B, and C, D employees appointed prior to 6th June 2016 and appointed against sanctioned post at the time of their appointments and have completed 10 years of service under the state government and whose appointments are not subjudiced. In this regard, the NLA had unanimously resolved to adopt a policy to carry out a one-time exercise for regularization of these groups of employees appointed on contractual or ad hoc basis against sanctioned post by conducting a suitability test by which they may be regularized against the post they are occupying if they fulfill all criteria as laid down in the policy. Nagaland will conduct Polio Day on 3rd March in all the districts as part of the National Immunization Day. A press release from the State Immunization Officer, Dr. Imgong Temse Longcha, stated that all children below 5 years of age, irrespective of previous immunization status, will be administered 2 drops of oral polio vaccine to protect against polio. The release informed that vaccination will begin from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It asked parents and caregivers to avail the services and visit the polio booths. It is further informed that parents can contact the health workers, ASHA and Anganwadi workers in their respective areas for further information. And now to end the news, here are the headlines again. 4th session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly adjourned Sine. Members of Nagaland Legislative Assembly opposes Assam Healing Prevention of Evil Practices Bill 2024. Deputy Chief Minister Y Patton says recruitment of constables will be carried out through open recruitment. In Nagaland Legislative Assembly to appeal Government of India to work out regulations for movement of people across borders in close consultation with people inhabiting border areas. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.